I started playing poker around 2003 on the old Triple Eight, well, Pacific Poker as it was called then. Pacific Poker, they used to give you free, no deposit bonuses to start with, and they didn't ask you to verify your account, track it or anything. So I opened scores of free accounts with Triple Eight and lost on money every time. I was playing second goes, playing Queen 6 off like it was aces, just completely gambling with money that wasn't mine, just like play money chips. Then I eventually started playing for real money with my own deposits on the old Betfair site on Cryptologic. A little bit of Poker Stars, Party Poker, all the sites that were big back in the day. Didn't really do that well. I primarily played tournaments, or I played cash games and do what more the fish do now, bought in for the minimum, tried to double up and run away. It'll probably start to be a winning player in around 2008. And yeah, I've been doing that ever since. Been doing really good, and yeah, it's pretty pleasing. It's nice to have a hobby that is also an income stream. And so yeah, that's how long ago? 15 years now I've been playing. Probably been a winning player for a decade. These days, you're most likely to see me playing poker on Sky Poker. It's a UK only site with some exceptions, like people from Finland can play, for example. It seems to be some players from the north of France can randomly play. Maybe that's just where they're located sometimes, I'm not sure. But yeah, Sky's where you will primarily see me playing. Triple Eight would be my secondary site. And then I've started adding GG as my third site rather than Unibet. It used to be Unibet, but Unibet's full of grinders these days and some quite good players, so we try to avoid them where possible. So yeah, GG. So it's Sky first, Triple Eight if I fancy playing a bit of speed poker, and GG when I just fancy a change of scenery. I decided to start playing poker seriously probably in around 2011. I had a pretty good job at the time in a factory, in a lab in a factory. I was in the research and development lab of like researching and developing washing powder and like detergents and things. It was dull as shit. It was boring, and I wanted out. I wanted to quit my job and I wanted to play poker. So I started playing poker seriously then. I was a full ring player then on Triple Eight, playing 50L, 100L as my main game, taking the occasional shots at good 200L games, and I was making good money back then. I was probably making at least, $15,000 to $20,000 a year for 2 or 3 years. I started shotting some 400L games, and but not too often. And then I had like a big life expense, 2 big life expenses in one go. We had to get a new car, so rather than get a loan, we took a big chunk down from my poker bankroll. And then we needed to get a new boiler because our boiler broke. So my roll come right down. I had to move back down to 50NL, which if I could have my time again, I would maybe do things differently and not take out such a chunk of my roll. I had like 12,000, 15,000 maybe, and come right back down to like $3,000 and had to play 50NL. It took me a while to recover from that because mentally I just wasn't up for the games as much. Still making money, but it was a bit of a come down. Yeah, that's when I started. But that's back when I started taking it seriously, and I still take it as seriously now, but not making anywhere near the same amount of money that we were making back in the glory days. That's for sure. My proudest poker achievement was probably when I was playing 100L and 200L on Sky Poker. I felt invincible back then. We were just playing full ring. I was a very good full ring player. I didn't care who I played. I was just at the tables thinking that, or believing that, and proving that I was certainly one of the best 100L full ring players on Triple Eight, and very competitive in the 200L games. So that was quite a proud moment. But also I would say, like, it's not really a poker achievement, but it's what poker's allowed me to do. Actually being able to, after I got made redundant from my job in 2012, just been able to take jobs part-time since then and have poker be a large part of my income stream. It's given me an awful lot of freedom. It's given me a far superior work-life balance to somebody of my limited qualifications should have. I probably make as much as lots of my friends who've got degrees, and I'm doing it by playing poker and working part-time in a job that I that I really love. So yeah, that will be my 2 proudest poker achievements. I started coaching others back in around 2013, and it was Alton who actually inspired me to start a YouTube channel. We got talking on, I can't remember if it was Reddit or 2+2, but Alton and I met then, and we've collaborated on certain things ever since. He's a lot more professional than I am in his approach to setting up websites, writing books, coaching people. I'm not as driven as Alton, that's for sure. My drive is pretty much have a nice life, do what you need to do to have a nice life, and perhaps don't push myself as much as I should. But on the other sense, that I think that helps make me a better poker player, because I'm super chilled when things aren't going right as well. So yeah, anyways, that's a bit of a tangent. I started working with people in 2013, and I've had a really good record. No one's ever really had cause to complain. It hasn't worked for everybody, of course, but there's been lots and lots of success stories. I actually did some work in 2014 with Limitless, who's just won the $25,000 high roller on PokerStars. Now I'd like to take credit for that, but I can't. I helped him get from like 10NL to 50NL on AAA, and then he went and got some coaching from Paul King on a coaching for profit deal, and his career just skyrocketed. But yeah, I've had lots and lots of success stories. I've had very good at helping people who are losing at 5 and 10NL just fix up the fundamentals. It's all in form. I mean, we look at George, the other coach on the site. He'll be a significantly better coach than me, a significantly better player than me, and he'll be a better teacher than me. I see my role on the site, and my role in general in the poker coaching world, if you will, as being somebody who is a good option for recreational players who don't have the time or the inclination to like bury their head in books and like learn all the complicated formulas and things like that. I'm somebody who can just really help you polish your fundamentals really quickly. I'm very good at breaking down relatively complicated concepts into like sentences and things you can actually go and take and start using at your table. And I think that's where my strength lies. I'm never going to be I imagine George could probably take somebody from 10NL to 500NL. I could take people from 10NL to 50NL, and I wouldn't be saying I'm a good option for. If you're somebody who's like a really young, intelligent guy who favours an academic approach, then I wouldn't be for you. If you're a recreational player, I tend to attract to middle-aged people, like mid-20s through to the 50s, who just plays poker as a hobby but wants to get better, then I think I'm a genuinely good option. And it's different strokes make different folks, don't they? Not everyone's right for everybody, but I've found my niche now, and I really like it. So yeah, my coaching speciality is, as we just said in the previous point, I think it's in bringing players up from making that quite a lot of the small fundamental errors that people make in just small spots that mushroom into huge leaks in the long term. I also think I'm really good at getting in tune with people, and I can adapt to different people's like styles, mentalities, and because I'm older and I've gone through all the emotions, if you're experiencing it, I've probably experienced it. So I say sharing my experience, being able to break down some more advanced concepts into ways that you can understand as a new player or as a player that hasn't really thought too much about poker, and just it might sound really corny and cheesy, but empathy too. I really care. I mean, I've loads of sessions. My sessions that I charge $30 an hour for are supposed to last an hour. Routinely they go to 60, 70, 80, 90 minutes, and I don't care. I just want I think my speciality is just really, really caring. I see lots of coaches. I've seen some people from like the best poker coaching, like really ripping into their students and giving them an unpleasant experience. I like to think that I help people along, but also do it in a manner where people can warm to me and trust in what I'm saying, and they can really open up to me, because there's just no edge to me, and I can sit and listen for 10 minutes while someone just unloads all the poker problems. And I think I'm a really good listener. I like to think that for most problems or all problems that you're having, I've got a pretty cool and neat fix for it. And I think that's what my speciality is. I think I've got a good bedside manner, and I'm really good at breaking things down that people just either can't learn or can't be bothered to learn, because they start a video, it gets too complicated and they just turn off from it. I understand that, because I do the same things quite a lot of the time. So I think my speciality is my empathy and my ability to understand what turns a lot of people off from poker coaching, and deliver the coaching in a way that resonates with them, hopefully educates them and makes it fun for them too. My goal in providing coaching is genuinely to make sure that everyone that comes to me leaves me being better at poker, but also enjoying the game more. Because it's not fun to lose at poker all the time. You know, if you deposit, lose, it's not fun, and you've got to enjoy it. You know, it's for most of us, it's a hobby. For most people who play on Microgrind, it's a hobby, not a job. It's not an income stream. So, my goal in coaching is to help people improve, but also help them to really start enjoying the game more. Hopefully, enjoy the sessions with me, and they just get more from the game, get more from their hobby. We're not all going to turn into the next Limitless or the next Linus Love or the next Source. It's just not a realistic ambition for most of us, but we can certainly get something out of the game, whether it's just pleasure, whether it's making our deposits just last longer than we usually do, actually developing our game into an income stream. It's just to help people maximise their potential and get the most from it from a hobby standpoint. My career outside of poker is it's in the caring industry. I've worked in the care industry since 2014. I work for 2 different companies providing care on a relief basis to adults with learning disabilities and mental health. I work across 5 different projects, working with a various degree of people with different kinds of disabilities, some people with profound physical disabilities, some people with learning disabilities, some people with autism, some people with bipolar. It's a really broad spectrum. I get so much from it. I'm never going to stop doing it. You could tell me you're going to start making $100,000 a year from poker, and I will still be involved in that community, providing support and love to those people, because it's just super, super rewarding. It doesn't pay very well at all. It pays not much better than minimum wage in one of my contracts. Another contract pays close to £10 an hour. And I also provide respite care from my own home with my wife for 3 families that have children with learning disabilities. They will come and spend some time with us during the week sometimes, or maybe they'll come for a sleepover sometimes. And I don't believe, when I was made redundant, when I had the good job and the good money, I felt lost for a little while. I was lucky that I had poker, because I could continue playing and earning money from poker, and so getting another well-paid job wasn't a big deal to me. But it did make me realise that having all your eggs in just one basket is not a healthy lifestyle, because anything can go wrong. You know what the current economy is like. You know, there's no such thing as a job for life anymore forever. So I very much now have lots of small income streams. So then if something goes wrong, if I stop being a winning poker player, I would still be able to survive. If I lost one of my relief contracts, or one of the families decided not to use it anymore, we'd still survive. I think I've got around 6 or 7 small income streams that all come together to create, a decent income for where I live. My favourite hobbies outside of poker, not so many anymore. I enjoy playing snooker and pool, and don't get to do that as much as I used to, because poker is, when I'm not doing work and caring, I'm playing poker 4 or 5 hours a day most days of the week. It's my main interest, it's my main hobby. But outside of poker, definitely snooker and pool. I feel like I'm doing a job interview now, try to put interesting things on your CV that you don't actually do. I like reading autobiographies. I just like spending time with family, really. It's really dull, but I'm 44. I'm not going to be into surfboarding and skydiving, I don't think. So pretty dull 44-year-old, but pretty dull content 44-year-old, so I'll take it. My favourite thing about poker is winning money, unquestionably. There's all sorts of cool things to say. I'll enjoy the mental challenge of this, that and that, but no, winning money is absolutely my favourite thing about poker. If I wasn't winning money, would I still be playing poker? Probably, but not cash games. I'd probably just, take the odd shot at some multi-table tournaments and things like that, try and make a big score. It's unquestionably winning money is my favourite thing about poker. And, there's nothing else to say. Winning money is my favourite thing about poker.